Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J-Dog.
Mike, it's good to see you. It's the 10th wettest day in LA history. Are you staying warm?
Oh, the 10th wettest. Okay. Yeah. I feel like you were here for maybe like the second and third last year when you first moved here. So I'm glad. Welcome to LA. The Pineapple Express has welcomed you.
The rain doesn't matter. Like the volume of rain doesn't matter in most places, but in LA, they can't handle it. And so like there's mudslides, there's rock slides right by your house. I saw some big boulders came down on the freeway.
Really?
People are struggling all over LA, and it's going to go another 24 hours. So send help to your LA people.
Yeah, I haven't left the house. Just getting delivery. Looking at I'm close to the LA River. Looking at that thing. Is it
gushing?
Flowing.
Is it going to overflow?
No. Somebody texted me and they said, how are you guys okay? I'm like, if the LA River overflows, we're all fucked. Like
you're
literally
not okay if that happens.
Yeah, all of LA is
you're
fucked.
Right next to it.
Yeah,
that's true. They build those big ramps, the big concrete ramps to keep it in, but it's not enough. People in LA don't care about this. They've been struggling with weather. Can I tell an LA story to start since we haven't had any sports?
Let's have an LA. Yeah, let's go.
Mike, I went out last week, went out to a great dinner at the Sunset Tower Hotel. I know you're familiar with it. Great celebrity spot. I won't like name drop all the celebrities I saw. Bryce Dallas Howard was looking good. But I'll just like move on from all the celebrities I saw to tell you about walking out of the restaurant after dinner. And the Curb Your Enthusiasm after party is going on right next to me. Right there. There's Secret Service, there's valet, there's security, there's HBO clipboards everywhere. And I tried getting in. I tried like back door, side door, the whole thing. Couldn't get in to see Larry. You know, it's like my favorite show. Like, you know. Curb is my number one. Back for the season, the finale ever.
Supposedly.
There are no more seasons. It's done after this. And it just started last night on Max and HBO. So super pumped about that. Only saw Jeff Ross, the ugliest celebrity I could imagine seeing in person.
The roast master, Jeff Ross.
Saw him. He's so ugly.
Well, I mean, on TV, he doesn't look that bad.
He's bald now. Have you seen him bald? It's bad.
Jeremy, I'm a fan of some bald heads. If you have a good bald head, rock a good bald head. Some people don't have a good shape.
It's me in 2021.
You had a great bald head. I'm worried if I ever lose my hair, I don't think I'm gonna have a good bald head. My head's big. It's a really big head.
We'll keep taking those pills while you can. But it's just a great LA thing. I tried getting in. I didn't quite get in, but it's like you just walk out of dinner in LA and anything could be happening. The Secret Service, it turns out, was because RFK was there. You know, if RFK is president, he's your boy. Cheryl Hines, who is Larry's wife on the show, is going to be the first lady of America. And that might get me to vote for RFK.
Wow.
That fact alone. Yeah.
Yeah. People hated those comments last time that we were only going to vote for RFK because we like his wife. So
I should mention I'm not really voting for RFK, but he was there the whole thing. And then it's been raining in LA.
I know. It's a weird time because anybody else, if you thought about the rain in LA, people would just be like, you guys are a bunch of pussies, like just go outside. But like literally things are falling off. The roads are flooded. People are driving their cars through puddles and getting the water up in their engine, and they're breaking their engines, basically totaling their cars. So not good. That's why you got to get a Tesla, drive around, no engine.
Speaking of Tesla, you have a new fancy toy. The Tesla is one of your fancy toys. Do you want to tell us about your new second favorite fancy toy?
Sure, I can briefly talk about it. I should have just started the whole podcast with it, but I did get the Vision Pro.
Yes.
I was telling Jeremy before the podcast, I think this is the greatest piece of technology I've ever played with. It's a lot of fun. And it's useful. It's not like the Meta feels like a toy. The Vision Pro feels like I'm actually going to do some stuff really sharp. I was watching movies in here. I mean, there's plenty of reviews all around, but I would say, yes, the price point is high, but it is a fun device. If you want to work in a small space and all of a sudden you have like a movie theater screen of your Mac and you got other programs going, you can run Final Cut through your Mac on it and like edit video. Super impressive. A lot of fun. You got to put it on. Like even Erin put it on and she was like super impressed by it too. Like, you know, when you just put it on and you're like, holy shit, like look at what it's doing. And that's just like the tip of it. When you actually go around and like, this is what I've been doing all day, like snapping. This is how you like move stuff around. So it's a lot of fun. Definitely the future. And I do feel like it is actually the most futuristic thing I've ever tried on before. Cause I always thought the headsets were cool. Like I had the Meta Quest and played with them, but they were always game focused. This is like, you're going to actually do some work. You can get things done and use this. And it's a lot of fun. So
and Mike, that's huge because you see trends before they get here. You are the one that tell us 3 years ahead of time if something's going to be cool or not. For you to say that it's the most technological piece of equipment you've ever had, and it's at a high price point now, like you said, so it's like a barrier to entry for people. It's not going to have like mass consumption right now, but once that price comes down, does it feel like it is going to change the way like people work and play and live and everything?
Yeah, I think if this is like the iPhone 1, everybody's like, this thing is awesome. But by the time you get to iPhone like 8 and 10, you're like, it's kind of like where you see it going. So yeah, this is probably the worst one they've ever made. And the second one, 2-3 years down the road, will probably be even better, lighter, thinner, better quality. But yeah, I mean, you just got to try it. So when you come over for Super Bowl, pop it on. It's amazing. It's crazy. Even watch Super Bowl in it. You can just sit alone.
I feel like there's an application for the Super Bowl. Like you're watching the game, and then you have a Taylor cam like to the left of the screen, and then like your props on the right. Like there's this whole Super Bowl application. Are you even going to be present with us during the Super Bowl? Are you going to have that on, and you're just interacting with all your screens that you're snapping?
Well, the fun thing is I can actually see through, so I could actually walk around with it on. I've been walking around all day with it on. It kind of like squishes your face a little bit when you have it on, so. Got to take it off a little bit, take a little break.
That's the one weird part. People say like you're never going to have the whole world wearing them because people don't like to wear things. You don't look good in it. You don't look cool. You don't look sexy in it, whatever. I thought you looked sexy in it when you were wearing it. But what do you have to say to those critics?
I mean, yeah, they're right. Like it's not for everybody, but if you decided like, hey, I'm going to start a new company and we're all just going to work on these Vision Quest, Vision Pros and just do our work and communicate that way. I think, yeah, you could do something. It's just wild how powerful it is. And yeah, there's like little screens that you can leave everywhere because it's like, it knows where you are in the space, has spatial awareness. So you can walk through it. You can leave it in rooms. You can have the movie going in one room, cooking in the other. You can have games going on in the other room. And it remembers where everything is. It's so cool. A lot of fun.
Fascinating. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the Super Bowl party. You want to go to our Super Bowl preview? Yeah,
let's do a little Super Bowl. So I wanted to start out. The Super Bowl is not like any other game you gamble on. And I put some rules together. I grabbed a lot, pieces from here, from there, some pros I follow. And I kind of condensed down the idea of what to do for the Super Bowl. Because any other game, usually you're betting sides, right? You're betting this team's going to win. I'm going to do the spread here and there. But I made a whole list of ideas here. So the first one is, I would say, look to bet a two-way prop where there's only two outs on this. It's like over, under, yes or no. Because a lot of times with these props, it's like, will Deebo Samuel catch a touchdown and do 57 yards? It's like, that's not a yes or no or over, under. It's kind of all together. It's like, well, he's got to hit this and this. So that's going to be a little harder for you. So you want to...
Good first rule. We're not voting on Gatorade color because there could be 7 of them and you only have a 1 in 7 chance.
Yeah. Not over, under, not a yes or no. So that's out. Now, I will say, I do have some props in here that might not be yes or no for fun.
But we know you don't always follow your own rules when it comes to betting. The rules are just some guidelines. You don't have to follow them.
Yeah. You stay within the guidelines sometimes. Sometimes you go out of there.
Yeah.
Avoid multi-way props. So like Kansas City... tie in San Francisco. So like if there was, on some of them now they're putting up, will San Francisco win? Will they tie? Or will they lose? And that's 3. And you don't want that. That's multi-props or passing yards, 200 to 210, 211 to 220. Too many variables. You want to stay away. You just want to clear it. Now, I've been scouring the internet for props everywhere. DraftKings has a lot. My offshore bookie has quite a bit. I think more are coming. I don't even think they're all up there right now. So
as of Monday night of Super Bowl week, they're not even all out. They're going to keep flooding it this week.
Yeah, I was on last night. I was on today, and I keep looking, and I don't think they're all there yet. They're not.
Those Vegas guys are just like, they're in the back room right now. They're still going over like their most random props, like because most of them are out there, right? So it's like the secondary props that are still left to hit.
Yeah. So these are a lot more props are going to come out. Hopefully we're going to do some squares for ours. I think this year, instead of, square, like I kind of want to do it virtually this year so we don't have to keep track of anybody. Everybody can just sign up virtually instead of a board.
Just do it in your Vision Pro and everyone can put it on to see like where
see where your square is. Also, a fun thing this year they added was you can buy the square you want on the gambling sites. Like I want 7 and 3, right?
No, normally it's random, right?
Now you can buy it. You can buy the square you want.
Pay extra to get like a 7 and a 3.
They're paying quite a bit. Odds are like 30-1 to just have 7-3 the entire game. And if it ends on 7-3, you win the money.
No one wants like 2-9, so of course everyone's gonna want 7-3.
I know. Or 7-7 or 3-3. Yeah, it's just or 0-0 is a good one. 10-20, something like that.
Sure.
So also here's some more. You want to avoid the needle in the haystack big payout props. You don't want to be betting anything that's going to be 30-1, 80-1, 100-1. They're rarely going to hit. It's going to be a waste of money. Our goal here, Jeremy, is to get our cash flow. Now, Jeremy, in Vegas, I was like, what would it take for us to go pro gambling? And I felt like these rules were really helping me justify gambling. The goal is to continue the bankroll and get it bigger. So we would love to bet those odds, but we always need to take a little vig. So we need those -120s, -110 bets, not needle in the haystack bets.
The needle in the haystack, we sat at a blackjack table literally 8 days ago, and you were hitting 30-1 side bets like it was nobody's business. Like every 3 hands you were hitting this. But now you're telling me the Super Bowl is here, no longer make 30-1 bets. Step away from the side action.
Jeremy, blackjack's a totally different thing. So I just want to say that's a
different podcast.
For the Super Bowl though, because it's just so enticing to go in and want to gamble on all these wild props, especially you have to determine where you're at. And we can talk about like my thought process going into it, because I'm hoping you're going to gamble a little bit on the game, even, maybe offshore or something.
Or legally too.
Yeah. And here's another one. Don't try to build a portfolio of like money props. The value is leaning the vig. That's what I just said. You want to lay the minus bets. The plus bets, hard to hit because that's the goal of the bookie, right? They want to make money. They're seeing these juicy odds. You can't do that. You got to stay away. It's hard. Self-control. Now, you can dabble a little. My other rule is fun props, $5 on 20 fun props. You can do that. 5 here.
On 20 different ones.
No, that's like up to what if you want to put $5 on it, go for it. But you don't want to do $100 on 20 novelty props. You want to stay away from that. No big bets.
Because they're really just for fun. They're not to win, but they're like to have a piece. Oh, like commercial bets, like get involved in little things, but you're not actually trying to hit it big on those.
If our goal in the Super Bowl is to make money, we're not going to go in and try to do like Gatorade color, the heads or tails, the Deebo Samuel plus yards, 3 touchdowns, and kick return. We're not going to do that. Yeah. We're staying away from that, Jeremy.
Okay.
The next one, don't make dozens of fun negative EV props. I think that's the same one for substantial amount of money. Do not do, you like this one, Jeremy. No SGB, no same game parlays.
No. I love to build those and get rejected in our pool.
I know. No same game parlays. You want to stay away from that. They look good. I did hit some last week too, but this is the Super Bowl. We want to come out a winner. We want to end the season a winner here. This is my whole thought process. For the first time ever, I took our mutual friend's gambling pool real. I was like, I'm going to win this. I can win this. I can't be silly.
You're doing great too, right?
Yeah. So I think I can win it. I'm pretty sure I can if I just make the right bet for the Super Bowl. So now is just like the bankroll. That's what we want to save and we want to put in. Say you put in $1,000. Let's hope to get more than that out. We don't want to lose money. Always.
That's the goal for gambling. Where do you stand on soft bets? Because I think we're going to get some information as we get closer to game time, right? Mm-hmm. National anthem. Is the rehearsal coming in over under? What are people saying about that? What color outfit will Usher come out in for his halftime show? By the way, we're going to talk about the halftime show and how little buzz it's getting with Taylor stealing so much buzz from halftime. I want to talk about that. The little soft bets, like where are you at with those? Are you seeking information to bet them? Are you going in on those types of things?
Jeremy, last year I was all about the soft bet. I had inside info on the first song Rihanna was going to play. I needed to win some money. I also needed to get up. It was like 500-1 to get the right song. Mm-hmm. I would say fun props. The rule is we go back to the rules. $5 on a novelty prop. We can do some soft bets. Okay. We can do over unders. I bet some. I bet a little, tails on the coin flip. I bet tails. They're both plus money, plus 100, 110, something like that. Start the day off with a little bet. But yeah, you don't want to do it, Jeremy. We want to stay away.
Okay, we'll stay away from the soft bets this year. Last year, you were all about them.
I was all about it. Do you want to go through some props I have listed here? These are some props that I may or may not enter in our mutual friends contest. I've only placed 2 of these bets in real life. So I'll start with the two bets I started with, if you want.
Okay. Two real bets. Let's hear
two real bets. First bet is I'm doing Deebo Samuel over 57.5 receiving yards. I think it already went up. I think it's already up at like 58. I maybe bet it at 58. I don't want to go any higher than that, but that's the one I put real money on. So I put some money on that one. That's
what are you seeing behind that? Does Deebo get over 58 receiving yards in most games where he plays the whole game? Of course, in the playoffs, he's been a little banged up, had to miss some time. What leads you to go over on that?
I think he's like Brock Purdy's number one guy, right? Like he's throwing him behind the line, quick little slants here. He's the guy that's going to get the yards. And sometimes he also has that breakout speed where you can kind of like break through a little bit. So I'm not now. Also, the idea behind my betting this week is like, I want to hedge maybe some of the bets I'm doing against the big bet I have, which I think I'm just going all in on Kansas City. I think my bet's Kansas City this week. So I want to maybe hedge a little bit of that.
And we know why. For Travis's future fiance, we know what's behind the bet,
yes.
Right?
I mean, it's going to be the ultimate week, right? Taylor Swift won 2 Grammys. Travis Kelce comes out, wins a Super Bowl. And then we might lay some money on Travis Kelce winning MVP, and it'll just be the trifecta of like all the best.
And then certain Republicans like Vivek, he says that they're going to come out and endorse Biden on the field together and like do a marriage proposal all in one. So it's like it all happens all at once. So the Republicans are chattering about that. Going back to your Deebo bet, I do have to call bullshit on that one. Okay. Sorry to do it to you, Mike. I really enjoyed the prop process so far. Deebo is a guy who is getting fed at the goal line. When you're fed at the goal line, you're not going to get a lot of receiving yards out of it. I would much prefer an anytime touchdown on Deebo. I know the odds aren't good. That's okay. You told me to take the vig. I'll take the vig, whatever that is on the anytime touchdown. I'm going to take it for Deebo. I think Shanahan will work to get him red zone touches, less so like deep shots. The Chiefs have a good secondary with Snead and McDuffie. Maybe he goes over. I'm a Deebo guy. I think much more likely if you want to do a rushing yards prop as they try to feed him the ball or an anytime touchdown.
Okay, I like that. My next bet that I actually bet the third quarter over 9.5 points. That's minus 125. I like that one. Third quarter, we could be coming back from the kickoff. And I think by then, nerves are gone. You're ready to go out. You have some new scripted plays after the half. And you're going to come out. Somebody's going to maybe score a touchdown. Maybe it's back and forth really quick. I also looked at the props that were like, what is it? Like 3 scores in a row or something, either on the same team or different teams. But I actually bet this one. They're not as fun. They're not like as fun. So I have more fun props. These are just like, if we're trying to make money, these are the 2 bets that I
just want to say I love your third quarter bet because you're betting on 2 fascinating coaches, 2 of the best coaches in the NFL. And what do you do at halftime? You go in. What do you do at the Super Bowl? You go in for longer than ever. And you can have time for game planning. Maybe they script new plays like they wouldn't do during the regular season. I think these 2 coaches will score a lot of points. Yeah. Definitely.
I really like that one. You can get, I already mentioned this, tails plus 100 if you want to do that. Heads is also plus 100. I said, will there be more field goals or touchdowns? I said there'll be more field goals at plus 400 here. So obviously these are my novelty props. Not going to put a lot on it, but I thought field goals. Now I know the one guy on San Francisco, not great at kicking field goals. But I'm trying to think about it as like, okay,
he's a rookie and he's been really bad, and it's kind of shocking he's still their kicker. Like you have all the kickers in the world. You can't bring in someone with Super Bowl experience. Just bring someone off the street who at least you know his nerves won't be shitting bricks during a big moment of the game.
I just thought if Kansas City's up and they're not ultra aggressive, do you think they'll just start kicking field goals when they get close enough and not have to drive too far down the field? So say they're up. Let's say they're up 17-7. Do you think they go out and just kick a field goal, kick another field goal? Does San Francisco try to kick one? I feel like it's a possibility to get over more field goals than touchdowns.
You're depending on these 2 great coaches, these 2 great offenses to fail on third down and have to kick field goals is what you're kind of betting on.
I'm not saying they're going to fail, but I did think more of if their nerves are starting in the first half, if it's a nervous game, are we going to go like field goal, get
Mike,
the games.
the Chiefs don't have nerves. They're here every year. Patrick Mahomes says he has a Super Bowl routine. It's like he's the only guy in the world who has a routine for like the biggest moment because he's the one who's there every year. I don't think the Chiefs will have nerves. Will Brock Purdy have nerves? Could he be failing on third down? In the first half of both of his playoff games, he has not played well against the Lions and the Packers. No. I would not be surprised if they're punting or kicking field goals, at least in the first half.
So who do you think's gonna win the game? Like what side would you bet on if you were still in our contest? Which side are you trying to bet on this game?
Subtle dig there. If I was still in it. It's like a 3-week contest and I got out after 2 weeks. That happened. You know what, Mike? I have some thoughts on the game and I want to present them in bullshit or believe status.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Bullshit or believe time. Bullshit or believe time. Shit or believe.
All right, I got a few statements here that are going to tell you how I feel about the game, but I'm curious if you agree or bullshit as we go. So my first one here. Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown, is a better bet than Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown. Bullshit or believe?
It depends on which way we think the game's going. If my narrative is correct and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, Travis Kelce has to score a touchdown without a doubt for them to win the game. If he's on, they're winning the game. Now, if the other side goes and the script is wrong and the script writers failed me and I didn't get the right script in my mailbox, Christian McCaffrey anytime I could see happening. But yeah, I would say, what was it, bullshit or believe? I think Christian McCaffrey is the call.
I think Kelce's the call. So you're saying bullshit. I say believe. I think Kelce's the call. The guy is a different person in the playoffs throughout his career. You look at his stats throughout the regular season. You look at his stats throughout the playoffs. Even the last time we saw him play in that AFC Championship game, he's making crazy catches in the first half until the Ravens finally slowed him down. I think there's like a 98% chance Kelce has a touchdown in the Super Bowl in front of Taylor Swift. I think McCaffrey's really high, maybe like 75%. There's probably not a bad bet there. I'm leaning toward Kelce.
Okay. I like it.
Bullshit or believe. I just kind of clued you up on this. Brock Purdy in the first half. Bullshit or believe, Brock Purdy will have a first half so bad there will be talk about bringing in Sam Darnold in the second half.
Are you one of the Sam Darnold believers that put thousands of dollars on him to win MVP? Is that where we're going?
I saw that the books are going to have an issue if that actually happens because people are out there. I thought there's normally like max bets on those types of things, but apparently the books are in trouble if Darnold wins the MVP.
I think when Super Bowl comes around, I think they're just willing to take anything because the props, there's just so many props. It's like, how can they limit it?
I love that. I love that one.
I don't know. I mean, Brock Purdy has been getting like those stingers in his arm and stuff. It would worry me a lot if something happened. But yeah, I guess Sam Darnold's good guy. I guess he could come in. Why not?
I'm going to say believe. I think there's halftime speculation on Sam Darnold. Maybe they don't pull the trigger. Maybe Brock plays better in the second half. I just think he hasn't been playing well in the first half of these games, and this is a bigger one than we've seen recently. You'll love this one. Bullshit or believe. Taylor Swift will be shown on camera more than 9.5 times during the game. Not like pregame, postgame. 9.5 shots
during the game.
During the game, between the kickoff and the final.
It depends. I felt like wasn't the last game on CBS or was that
that was the last? Yeah, that was on CBS.
I don't think they didn't show her.
They showed her very little, right?
Yeah, the other game when they were in Buffalo, they showed him a lot, but that was NBC, right?
That was also CBS. The week before the Chiefs Dolphins, that Peacock game. Taylor got a lot of FaceTime there. It was a frozen game. She was cleaning off the windshield. Yeah, there were some good memes out of that, but they showed her a little more there.
9.5 is a lot. That we also have to factor in. Travis Kelce has to score at least 2 touchdowns for her to get some eyesight going there for some extra looks.
But wait, it's the Super Bowl. Aren't we going to see more of her than you see in a regular game? Don't you have more general interest than normal? Don't the producers say, okay, we've heard the criticism on the Taylor shots. We hear you, but it's a Super Bowl, so we're not going to listen to you, and we're going to pour it on even.
I don't know. I felt like CBS was like, didn't CBS ask to use Taylor Swift's song for like some kind of intro or during the game or something? And she said no.
I know she's asking the NFL to fly her from Tokyo to Vegas.
Oh, is she really?
That. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. She has her own private jet.
I think, that's what I mean. Like, she's going to bill Goodell for that?
No, I don't. I think she's got her own jet. But I would say no. And it's also going to be so stressful watching the show because all you're going to want is Taylor Swift to pop up. But if that's a real bet, I'll bet it with you, and I'll take it. I'll take the over. Why not? If Travis Kelce's winning the Super Bowl, does it count after the game to show her on screen?
No, I said final play of the game. Anything post game, the kiss, the proposal, all that is separate.
Okay. All right. I guess right at the end, if they're about to win, there could be a lot of shots like in those last few seconds where they're just trying to kill time. I can see it happen. I'm going to say believe. I'm going to go with it.
I'm over 9.5 also. So if that is a bet, we'll take it. If not, we'll get someone to bet against us at the party, which I'm sure there'll be haters out there.
Yeah,
my last bullshit or believe for you. This one's kind of random, but it's something I actually believe. So we're just going to start with that. I believe Andy Reid will win the Super Bowl and retire and walk off in the sunset. Bullshit or believe. Both things happen. He wins and he retires.
I'm going to say bullshit. I don't think he retires. I think he's got so much more time with Mahomes and maybe 1 or 2 years left with Kelce. I think he keeps going. Why not get another Super Bowl? Like, it almost seems easy. The team started off slow. Like, there were no hopes. It was like Dolphins and Ravens go in the Super Bowl. There was not even a conversation.
Remember those days.
There's not even a conversation about Kansas City. I think he stays. I say bullshit.
I think there's something going on with the coaching thing. It's weird how Belichick's out there. It's weird how Vrabel's out there. It's weird how the Commanders were flying to interview Ben Johnson, and then he said, nah, I'm good by text when they were in the air. It's been the weirdest coaching cycle. They're all filled up now. But what if there's a surprise opening? And what if someone like Belichick, I'm not calling my shot there.
Sure.
But what if one of these legends, Pete Carroll, says, I'll give it a run in KC. You might love that. I'm just saying, Andy's been doing this a long time. There'll be a ton of Super Bowls for him. What's it all for? Why not
I could see it, but I just
cheeseburgers in paradise.
I don't think he retires. I think it's a big shot. He doesn't seem out of it yet. He still seems with it. He's not like
I just thought of I know he's still good. He's got a good staff around him. I got one more for you. What's more likely? If the Chiefs win, is it a Kelce proposal on the field or Andy Reid retires? Which one is more likely to happen?
Listen, I've seen a lot of the Travis Kelce proposing. I feel like it would take away from the moment to propose there. You don't want to do that. I think there's a rule. You never want some rules here. You never want to get engaged on a holiday or your birthday. You don't want to ruin it in case something happens. Okay.
Like that. Okay.
Never want to do that. So do not propose on the day you won a Super Bowl, because forever, when she breaks your heart, Travis, you'll remember that Super Bowl and then remember she broke up with you months later after you proposed to her.
Wow. I'm looking at it from the opportunistic approach, where Taylor last night, she goes up and wins a Grammy and she goes, oh, by the way, new album, April 19th, the website's ready to go. Like, maybe the version of that is Travis saying my proposal is ready to go once I get the limelight, once I get the Super Bowl MVP after 2 or 3 touchdowns. And so I wouldn't put it past these two to be opportunistic in the moment, Mike, the capitalists that they are.
Well, listen, if he follows by my rules, the unwritten rules, do not do anything big on holidays and birthdays. You stay away from those. Those are awful.
Feels like a man that's been burned before who made those rules.
Those are rules you got to live by.
I like that. We're talking about Taylor for a moment. Last night at the Grammys, can I just mention? I thought she did a bad thing.
Why? Like her song?
No, her song is fine. Her announcement was fine. All of that.
I thought Bad Thing was a song.
Is it a song?
No, I have no idea.
No, she did a terrible thing, actually. She went on stage for the very last award of the year. Was that Song of the Year, I believe?
Yep.
Album of the year. Big award. Last one.
Huge.
Celine Dion presenting it to her. She grabbed the award from Celine Dion and acted like she didn't even exist.
Jeremy,
let me tell you something, Mike. Celine Dion was in person for the first time in years because she's dying of a neurological condition called stiff person syndrome. It was a big deal to have her out there. And the biggest star in the world grabbed that Grammy from her like she was an anonymous Grammy holder and it was no one else.
Jeremy, I have to defend Taylor Swift. I think from the sources I heard was that she was told to stay away from Celine. She couldn't go up and just hug her because of that syndrome. So you can't just like approach somebody with that. So you stay away, and then backstage, they got a photo together. They were very happy.
I saw the photo. They tried to make it up. She tried to, let me get a picture. I was so cold to you out there. This is going to help my PR. My Taylor points went down because Celine Dion is an icon. Celine Dion spent many nights in Vegas wowing the crowd. You know, we're Vegas experts. She had the residency.
U2 was there too. Yeah, we saw it.
I wasn't wowed by that. That was not a good representation of U2 at the Sphere, was it?
No, we saw the Sphere. You could go back to last week's episode. We talked about the Sphere. That is not what the Sphere looks like. That man chopped up 25 different songs that he performed that night and pretended to sing one, because all those images we saw behind him were literally from the entire show. That was it.
From different songs. I was thinking, like, class action lawsuit. Can we actually band together and say,
yes,
you're selling this as what the sphere is per song? And it's not like this at all. They're not changing the background 4, 5, 6 times like they had there. They also had that crazy drone flying around that kind of gave people motion sickness. I thought the screen didn't give any motion sickness at all. No. That weird drone made me more dizzy than anything actually sitting in front of the sphere in person. A really weird integration with you two. Clearly wasn't live, clearly edited together. Then he gives the award. I thought weird. As a producer, I could have pulled that off so much better than that.
Oh yeah, you could have said, hey, we're not actually going to U2, we're going to go do something else.
I would have shown the wall. Like, there's moments of the screen, the sphere that are actually cool. What we saw last night was not. Any other Grammys takeaways just while we're on?
No, I mean, Jay-Z coming out and yelling at everybody that Beyonce wasn't up there for best album. I agree. I thought her album was actually really good. There is one theory I have, and I was telling this to Aaron last night. During the show, you kept seeing like best artist, like best song of the year, and then there was album and record. And this guy, Jon Batiste, was in all the categories amongst all these female artists that I have heard almost every single song that those women have put out. And I kept telling Aaron, that man right there, that is what an industry plant looks like. No one's ever heard of Jon Batiste. No one's ever played a song.
We've heard of Jon Baptiste. We have heard of him.
Have you ever heard a song from him? Have you ever heard a song from him before? I was just saying, he's an industry plant. No one knows his music.
Wow.
He is, he shouldn't be there. He's not on the same caliber as Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus and SZA and whoever else was there, Olivia Rodrigo and Dua Lipa. I know all those songs. Jon Batiste, I don't know. He's an industry plant. I don't like it. And they kept showing him all throughout. I'm like, look, there he is.
Showed him a lot. Now that you say that, you're right. They showed him as much as Taylor.
So much. It's like, who is this man?
Interesting conspiracy theory. We're not one to shy away from those out here in Hollywood. By the way, anyone going there last night would have gotten soaking wet coming in and out of crypto.com. There's no way they didn't. Just the rain was that bad. I love the Tracy Chapman performance, of course. That was great. We weren't around when that song first came out with Luke Combs in the 70s, but very cool that she got her big moment up there because she's been like anonymous for years ever since that song came out, apparently. And then I thought Miley Cyrus was great. She was great when she performed, great with her awards, her first Grammy. Great comeback for Miley. I feel like we haven't seen her for a while.
I thought she did great. We watched the whole thing. I watched half of it on my Vision Pro. Watched a little bit of that, playing some games on the other side. It was great.
So you're like present with your wife watching it, yet the Vision Pro is on. So like you could be doing other things.
Yeah, I honestly, like for me, I'm having a baby soon. So this is like the perfect gift for myself for having a baby, right? I could just like be in a different area, taking care of the baby, and that's it. It's great.
You don't have to rely on TVs and phones anymore. You just wherever your eyes are. The Vision Pros. That's great.
I do have a few more props if you want to get into a few more.
Okay, and then I want to talk about Usher's halftime show. So
let's talk about Usher now. We're talking about music. Let's talk about how
That's
bad
what
Usher's
I just want to get to. This is like the least hyped Super Bowl halftime show ever. And it's in Las Vegas. What a moment. I was thinking, like, we were just talking about the Vegas residencies. You were thinking, like, Donnie and Marie, how, like, you never got to see them and their icons.
Oh, so sad.
Why don't we bring out, like, this lineup of Vegas residencies, like Adele and Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Celine Dion, like, all these people? Yeah. That'd be so much better than Usher. Or anyone else would be so much better than Usher. One, Usher's in trouble right now for allegations. Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yes.
And number two, when's the last time he made music? Is he touring? Is he relevant?
Jeremy,
what's the deal with this choice?
I think the thing is, we, unfortunately, are the group they're targeting. These millennials are all Usher fans. Remember in college and high school, Usher was playing all the time, with Ludacris and all that stuff. It's like they're gearing towards us. They're not going towards Gen Z or anything like that or older folks. They're going like, hey, here's Usher. Remember him from high school? You're going to love the halftime show, so you should tune in. That's what they're doing.
But they got it wrong because no one's talking about it. I had to Google this weekend who's performing the halftime show because I forgot. And then it's like everyone's talking about Taylor Swift. We just spent 20 minutes talking about Taylor Swift, and then we got to halftime. And like in the past, the halftime show is always so memorable and iconic and buzzworthy one way or another. Rihanna was great last year, and she made headlines.
She was great, yeah.
Some people didn't like it. Some people did. That's what you want. Is anyone going to like Usher? Are people going to make headlines that Usher's back? Maybe I'll be wrong next week on the show, but I can't see it.
He's got to bring out some guests. If Ludacris does not show up on that stage with him and sing that song, I'm out. Or Little John. If Little John is not there, I'll be pissed. I need a
How
little
about
drama.
Eminem if the Lions were there? I mean, he was the biggest Lions fan ever.
Yeah, but it's kind of like Taylor Swift. Like you can't just like jump in on a song. Usher does not sing any songs with Eminem for sure. All right, I got, and it's also it's also presented by Apple Music, which is a first. So I think Apple Music bought the rights to the halftime show, so they're presenting.
Pepsi before, right?
Yeah.
Shows how soda's gone downhill in America.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, few more real quick. We can bang through them. MVS anytime touchdown plus 500. I like that one. Get a little action. I always think in the Super Bowl, there's always these random guys that score, and I think MVS is a good one to have as like, hey, you could score. It's whatever. It's 50-1 or something like that. It's like, or 5-1. It's great.
I think it has to be on a bomb. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Andy Reid is trusting MVS with targets down inside the 20.
Okay.
He's got Kelsey. He's got Pacheco. He's got McKinnon. He's got other tight ends. He's got Rishi Rice. Yeah. I don't love the idea of an MVS touchdown. Unless it's a long touchdown, which you probably get better on.
What about a Kansas City anytime touchdown by their defense? I thought a little Brock Purdy interception. We saw him melt down a few times. I do like this one. Put in $100, you make $650. I'm just trying to like, if I'm betting this way, I might as well have some correlation. So I just hit big on it. So this is another fun bet if you want to jump in on that one.
I want in on that fun story. Peter Schrager has predicted 5 Super Bowl winners in a row in August. I think we talked about that on the show recently. Every year he gives like a little line about it. And the last time he had the Chiefs winning, he said Nick Bolton is going to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. He's a Chiefs linebacker. And he did. This past August, when he said the Chiefs were going to beat the Niners in the Super Bowl, he said O.J. McDuffie, is that his name? Trent McDuffie. O.J. McDuffie was the middle linebacker? Trent McDuffie, the cornerback. Yeah. The cornerback is going to have a pick six, is what he predicted in August. Ooh. And so it's kind of all adding up if it continues following. I actually love that one. What were the odds?
Okay, that's good. Okay. What about Pacheco anytime touchdown?
Yeah.
5-1 as well. That's an easy one. I did a lot of anytime touchdowns because I feel like they're the most fun during the game because you're not like tracking like yards and everything. It's just like,
and you celebrate anytime it happens. I love that. Pacheco runs hard. He runs like he went to New Jersey and he wants out of it. And that's what happened. He went to Rutgers and he's still running away from Rutgers every time he runs. I think.
Well, he's in Vegas now, so he did a good job. Yeah, this is a fun one. Travis Kelce to score first. Christian McCaffrey to score second. 22-1 on this one.
Okay, love it in principle. You'll hate yourself if it's the other way around. If the Niners get the ball. Pissed. And it's so hard to predict you're also predicting like kickoff and like who wins a coin toss, who defers. Yep. It's like 4 predictions in one, which is going against some of your rules, I feel like.
Yeah, these are my fun novelty props. And then Travis Kelce win MVP. It's 12-1. Thought through some money on this one. I like it because if they win and Travis Kelce went off and had like 3 touchdowns or something like that, I could see him winning. And also it's like then Taylor Swift obviously comes out for the MVP award. So if it's rigged and the script is right, that should happen. That's all I got. I mean, I was digging for a long time and I'm just like, I just want to do fun ones. And there's also MVP if you want to go. I have like other MVP odds if you want to throw anybody's name out. I have them all in front of me. George Kittle, 60-1. Nick Bosa, 75-1. Pacheco, 28-1. So you can get some people. When's the last time a defensive guy won? Was it like Warren Sapp? Did Warren Sapp win during the Bucs run?
He would have had a touchdown. He would have needed a touchdown. I'm not sure he did in the Super Bowl. I was thinking about Charles Woodson. Isn't he famous for winning the Heisman and Super Bowl MVP as a cornerback?
So it's usually offensive guys.
Or was that Desmond Howard? Maybe both.
There's a Fred Warner on here. You got Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's on here.
I like that one. Purdy's going to struggle in the first half. I don't know if they're going to pull him, but I think Purdy doesn't play well. Okay, I got the Chiefs winning the game. You asked me earlier who wins the game. We're both on the Chiefs.
Okay, good. I have so much Chiefs swag, so you can throw some on if you don't have any.
Funny you say that. I don't have Chiefs swag, so that'll be great.
The whole house.
Are you giving out like clothing at the party? What's the deal?
Yeah, we got some extra jerseys from Temu. They got a lot of jerseys coming in.
Shout out Temu on those affordable jerseys.
We also have a banner that we're hanging. It's like in my football era for Taylor Swift. That's going to be right above the TV. We have some Taylor Swift. I don't want to ruin it for you, but there will be some Taylor Swift friendship bracelet food items.
Wow, that's Now, where is your Usher signage? Where will that be located?
Usher will be nowhere to be found.
See what I mean? It's like it's a Taylor Super Bowl. There's no Usher. There's no other act. We're we're excited for it. It's the last football we get. Like Pro Bowl didn't count, so we already haven't had football for a week, and now we're going 8 months. And so cherish it. Get in that back room if you can. Avoid the craziness with the main Super Bowl party. Right. That's what your recommendation is too.
Yeah, we'll have fun. All right. Check out
before we wrap up.
Oh yeah, more.
Can I just do a quick J Dog Takes On, just really quick?
I love it. Go for it. Hold on. There it is.
J Dog Takes On.
This one affects people like you with roots in New Jersey. I previewed it earlier, but the World Cup final, Mike, is going to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and that's some bullshit because playing a event of that size and magnitude on the world scale in the parking lot of New Jersey is just disturbing on so many levels. The idea that we're going to send the soccer teams, the best players, the best millionaires, celebrities, everyone is going to assemble at MetLife Stadium. This is New Jersey. Some would call it the New Jersey swamp. That's a political term, maybe a real term. That's where this is being held.
Was that your Trump impersonation?
Right here in SoFi, we could have had it right here. And it's right on the west side of LA, as I like to say, close to the Pacific Ocean. What a great place for people to go to. Why is it not in New Orleans? There's a downtown stadium. It might be very old at this point. It holds a lot of people right in New Orleans. So you go from the bars to drinking. Literally, you cannot get from New York City to MetLife Stadium without transferring trains, apparently. I didn't even know this. You have to transfer trains. There's no straight shot from Manhattan. And so I'm fired up about it. I feel like random cities like Kansas City or Indianapolis, middle America, would be better than the swamp of New Jersey, the pavement parking lot that is MetLife Stadium. Also where everyone tears their ACL, by the way, right? So maybe we'll get new turf in by then. But it just really pissed me off this weekend.
Well, isn't it starting in LA? Isn't like the initial game in LA and then it ends in New York?
I don't know exactly because it was supposed to be in LA, and then it was supposed to be like the final was supposed to be in LA.
Well,
then the final was supposed to be in Dallas.
I mean, they're playing everywhere.
And there's going to be matches everywhere, but you don't know what pool it is. So maybe the U.S. is in your pool, but if not, it's like random Ecuador Honduras game. There'll be fans, but it won't be a big deal if it's in LA. And so, LA and California really missed out here.
Well, we're getting at least one portion of it, right? Somebody's going to play.
We'll get a game.
I know.
Get a game.
Check out thesportshangover.com. There is some Taylor Swift swag up there right now. If you want to buy, like in my era, Taylor Swift era, it's up there.
Rush delivery on that one.
We can get rush delivery. It will get out quick. We got to order today though. Probably today's the last day of the order. We're not Temu. We're not going to take like 2-3 weeks to get to you, but we'll get to you fast. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/sportshangover. Download us, subscribe, tell your friends.